Paris. Just whispering the name stirs visions of lovers strolling under twinkling lights, revolutionaries storming barricades, masterpieces hanging in gilded halls, and a history etched into every cobblestone. But beneath the romance lies a saga of survival, innovation, and unyielding spirit. How did a modest fishing village on the Seine evolve into the world's most iconic metropolis? This is the tale of a city forged in fire and flood, conquered by empires yet always reborn, an eternal stage for humanity's triumphs and tragedies. Pause for map animation, timeline overlay from 250 BC to 2025, highlighting key eras. From Celtic traders to Roman engineers, medieval scholars to Enlightenment firebrands, and from the shadows of occupation to the glow of liberation, we'll traverse over 2,000 years. This is the entire history of Paris, not just dates, but the people, the drama, the unbreakable soul of the City of Light. Let's dive in, starting where the river first whispered secrets of destiny. Our journey begins in the misty mists of prehistory, around 7,600 BCE, when early Indo-European peoples first settled near the Seine's gentle bends. But Paris as we know it truly emerges around 250 BC, when the Parisii, a Celtic tribe of the Gauls, established a fortified oppidum on the marshy Isle de la Cite. These hardy fishermen and traders, numbering perhaps a few thousand, built wooden bridges and minted silver coins stamped with a boar and ship, symbols of their seafaring prowess. Their markets buzzed with amber from the Baltic and wine from Gaul, linking Paris to Europe's trade veins. Prosperity, however, invited peril. In 52 BC, Julius Caesar's legions, led by Titus Labienus, crushed the Parisii revolt during the Gallic Wars. Caesar himself convened a Gaulish assembly here, demanding allegiance. The victors renamed the settlement Lutea Parisiorum, marshy place of the Parisii. Under Roman rule, Lutea blossomed into a provincial hub. By the 1st century AD, forums, aqueducts, and the Grand Arènes de Lutte amphitheatre hosted gladiatorial spectacles for 15,000 souls. The city's population swelled to 8,000, with baths steaming along the left bank and villas dotting the hills, yet shadows loomed. Late 3rd century invasions by Germanic tribes like the Alemanni in 275 AD forced residents to flee the left bank for the fortified Isle de la Cite. Christianity took root amid the chaos. In 250 AD, Saint Denis, Paris's first bishop, was martyred on Montmartre, then Mont Mercure, his blooded hill inspiring the Basilica of Saint Denis. By 346 AD, Bishop Victorinus led a fledgling flock, and in 392 AD, a wooden cathedral rose, precursor to Notre Dame. Ed 5d78 Attila the Hun menaced in for 51 AD, but young Genevieve rallied prayers, diverting his horde to Chalons. Hailed as savior, she became Paris's patron saint. As Rome crumbled, Frankish King Clovis I seized the moment. Baptized Christian in 496 AD, urged by Genevieve and his wife Clotilde, he made Paris his capital in 508 AD, uniting Gaul under the Merovingians. The city, now a Merovingian stronghold, bridged Roman legacy and barbarian vigor. The Middle Ages crowned Paris Europe's jewel. Under the Carolingians, Charlemagne's son Louis the Pious repaired the Roman amphitheatre in the 9th century, reviving theatre amid Viking threats. In 845 AD, Ragnar Lodbrok's Norse raiders sacked the city, extracting £7,000 of silver ransom, fueling legends of Valhalla's gates. King Eudes, Odo, Count of Paris, repelled them in 885 to 886, earning the throne as West Francia's first non-Carolingian king. The Capetians elevated Paris further. Hugh Capet claimed the crown in 987 AD, but Philip II Augustus, 1180 to 1223, transformed it. Before his Third Crusade, he erected the city's first full wall, completed by 1215, enclosing both banks and spurring growth. He founded the Louvre as a fortress in 1190 and drained marshes for expansion. By 1328, Paris boasted 200,000 souls, Europe's largest city, its streets alive with guilds, markets, and the world's first public pharmacy. Intellectually, Paris ignited. The University of Paris, chartered in 1200, drew luminaries like Thomas Aquinas, birthing scholasticism. The Sorbonne, founded 1257, became Europe's intellectual hearth. Architecturally, Gothic genius soared, Notre Dame's cornerstone laid in 1163, its flying buttresses and rose windows, masterminded by Maurice de Sully, completed by 1272, a hymn in stone to divine light. Same chapel, 1248, dazzled with 1,130 biblical stained glass panels, rivaling cathedrals. But trials tempered triumph. The 14th century's Black Death, 1348 to 1349, claimed 50,000 lives, half the population, its carts rumbling through fog-shrouded alleys. The Hundred Years' War, 1337 to 1453, ravaged worse. English sieges in 1429 starved the city. Joan of Arc failed to lift it, burned in ruin instead. Rebellions flared. Etienne Marcel's 1358 merchant uprising, the 1382 Maillotins tax revolt, the 1413 Cabochians butchers' revolt, exposing class fractures. Recovery dawned with Louis XI, 1461 to 1483, who centralized power, but Paris's medieval heart endured fires, like the 1462 blaze gutting the Hôtel Dieu hospital, and floods. By 1500, printing presses hummed, disseminating knowledge from the Latin Quarter, foreshadowing the Renaissance gilded Paris. Francis I, 1515 to 1547, invited Leonardo da Vinci in 1516, who died here in 1519, gifting Mona Lisa to the crown. Italianate chateaux like the Tuileries, 1564, and Fontainebleau bloomed, while the Louvre evolved from fortress to palace. Henry IV, 1589 to 1610, the good king, who ended religious wars via the 1598 Edict of Nantes, added the Pont Neuf, 1607, Paris's oldest bridge, and the Place Dauphine Square. His assassination in 1610 at Rue de la Ferronnerie sparked regency intrigues under Marie de Médicis. Louis XIV, the Sun King, 1643 to 1715, dazzled but distanced. Versailles, built 1669 to 1710, siphoned court life from Paris after the 1661 Fouquet scandal, yet he lavished the city, Les Invalides, 1670, for veterans, the Opera, 1671, and Place Vendôme, 1698, with its column echoing Trajans. Haussmann's boulevards? No, Louis raised walls for the grands boulevards, promenades for the elite. But poverty festered. By 1700, 150,000 to 200,000 indigents, a third of residents, begged amid opulence. The Enlightenment, 18th century, electrified salons. Voltaire, Rousseau, and Diderot's Encyclopedia, 1751 to 1772, challenged divine right from Montmartre cafes. The Wall of the Farmers General, 1784 to 1791, a tax barrier with 56 gates, stoked fury over bread shortages. Then, explosion, the French Revolution, 1789. July 14, 1789, storming the Bastille, symbol of tyranny, sparked by 5,000 rioters seizing gunpowder. October's Women's March to Versailles dragged the royals back. August 1792's Tuileries assault abolished monarchy. Louis XVI guillotined January 1793 in Place de la Révolution, now Concorde. The Reign of Terror, 1793 to 1794, claimed 17,000 heads, including Robespierre's in July 1794. 00C66A clubs like Jacobins and Cordeliers fueled the fire from former convent. Napoleon Bonaparte rose from the chaos, crowned emperor in Notre Dame, 1804. He monumentalized Paris, Arc de Triomphe, 1806, Vendôme Column, 1810, and the Canal Saint-Martin, 1825. Yet revolutions echoed. 1830's July Revolution ousted Charles X, 1848's February Uprising birthed the Second Republic. Napoleon III's Second Empire, 1852 to 1870, remade Paris. Enlisting Baron Georges Eugene Haussmann, he raised 25,000 medieval hovels for 75,000 new Haussmannian buildings, elegant six-story facades with wrought iron balconies. Wide avenues like the Champs-Élysées, expanded 1850s, eased traffic and troop movement, curbing barricades. Parks bloomed. Bois de Boulogne, 1852, Montsouris, 1869. The Opera Garnier, 1861 to 1875, glittered with gold, while sewers and aqueducts modernized the underbelly. The 1889 World's Fair unveiled the Eiffel Tower, Gustave Eiffel's 324-meter iron lattice, derided as eyesore yet beloved icon. Paris hosted Olympics in 1900, showcasing Metro, Open 1900, and Grand Palais, but shadows fell. The 1871 Paris Commune, a socialist uprising after Franco-Prussian War defeat, governed 2 months with feminist reforms before Bloody Week, May 21 to 28, where Versailles troops massacred 20,000 to 30,000 in street fighting. Barricades rose anew, but crushed. Fashion and art flourished. Coco Chanel revolutionized wardrobes. 1910s, Picasso's Cubism exploded at Montparnasse. By 1900, Paris was modernity's muse. The 20th century scarred Paris. World War I, 1914 to 1918, brought Big Bertha, shells raining from afar, killing 256 in 1918 alone. Yet the city endured, its taxes ferrying troops to the Marne in 1914's Miracle. Interwar Bohemia sparkled, Jazz Age Montmartre, Hemingway's Lost Generation. World War II plunged it into abyss. May 1940, Blitzkrieg overwhelmed France. June 10, government fled. June 14, Wehrmacht marched unresisted into a depopulated Paris, 60% evacuated, streets ghostly. Swastikas flew over the Eiffel Tower. Hitler toured. June 23, 1940. Vichy collaboration under Putin enabled horrors. October 1940, Aryanization seized Jewish assets. June 1941, Statut des Juifs barred professions. Jews wore yellow stars from June 1942. Synagogues bombed. October 1941. 218043 The July 16, 1942 Velvet DHIV roundup. French police arrested 13,152 Jews, 4,000 children, at the Velodrome d'Hiver Stadium, shipping them to Auschwitz. 77,500 French Jews perished total. Daily life? Curfews, 9 p.m. to 5 a.m., rationing, bread to 300 g-day, black marketeering. Propaganda radio blared, brothels like the Hotel Majestic housed Abwehr spies. Defiance brewed. June 18, 1940, de Gaulle's BBC appeal ignited resistance. Cells printed combat newspaper, August 1941, first German officer slain in Metro, reprisals killing 116 hostages. September 1942. Jean Moulin unified networks as CNR head, tortured to death. 1943 without breaking. D-Day June 6, 1944, sparked hope. August 15, Operation Dragoon landed in Provence. August 19, FFI uprising, police seized headquarters, barricades rose. Hitler ordered destruction, General von Coltitz disobeyed, burning only Montmartre explosives. BA0CD0 August 24, Leclerc's 2nd Armored Division pierced suburbs. August 25, surrender at Gare Montparnasse. Joy erupted, crowds showered liberators with flowers. De Gaulle's August 26 Champs-Élysées parade, under sniper fire, proclaimed, Paris outraged. Paris broken. Paris martyred. But Paris liberated. Liberated by itself, with its people's aid. Post-war, 1947 Marshall Plan rebuilt, 1968 May riots, student-worker protests toppled de Gaulle briefly. Cultural icons rose, Pompidou Center, 1977, Louvre Pyramid, 1989, today, Paris pulses with 2.1 million residents, its economy powering France via tech, fashion, and tourism. Challenges persist. 2005 suburban riots highlighted inequality. 2015 Bataclan attacks claimed 130 lives. Yet resilience shines. 2024 Olympics dazzled. Notre Dame's post. 2019 fire restoration nears completion by December 2024. From Parisii huts to Haussmann houses, Paris embodies human tenacity. It birthed cathedrals and revolutions, hosted geniuses and tyrants, dimmed under occupation yet flared brighter. The city of light teaches, beauty blooms from ashes, ideas conquer swords, and spirit defies time. Paris isn't just history, it's a living promise.